Welcome to your social emotional lesson for March 8th, 2023. We are going to continue our conversation on responsibility. This lesson is adapted from the Museum of Tolerance website, and it's called Responsibility, the Ripple Effect. There are 6 steps total in this lesson. We're going to do half today, and the other half we're going to finish up on March 22nd. There will be no SEL lesson next week on the 15th due to it being a half day of school. Teachers, if you're going to do the activity that was in the email, you may pause the video and do that activity now. Next, we're going to watch 2 videos. The first video is about CNN heroes. When you go to this link, there could be different videos at different times. This video is currently about an Alaskan nurse who runs a nonprofit. And then the second video is about a high school in San Francisco, California that was standing up against a hate group that was coming to do some protests in their area. After we're done watching both videos, we will come back and talk about the reflective questions.
Hi, Yuri. Came to do your leg.
Alaska nurse Teresa Gray and her nonprofit Mobile Medics International have responded to dozens of humanitarian disasters since 2017, providing free medical care and comfort to more than 30,000 people around the globe. Last December, she was recognized as one of the year's top 10 CNN heroes.
Being named a CNN hero was amazing. It was like the Oscars of humanitarian work.
Please join me in honoring CNN hero Teresa Gray.
It got us exposure internationally. It brought in donations. So now we can go where we're needed, when we're needed.
Thousands are dead after a powerful earthquake topples buildings in Turkey and Syria.
So as the devastating impact of this tragic earthquake became clear, Teresa immediately mobilized to head to Turkey.
I need some 10cc syringes. It's pretty frantic leading up to a mission. We like to get in as soon as possible. So we'll be on the ground about 72 hours post-earthquake. Okay, so this bag is ready to go. Making sure we have the right equipment, the right medications. We have enough medications and supplies for hundreds of patients, from a trauma dressing to a Band-Aid or a Tylenol to antibiotics. This mission will be completely self-sustaining. The buildings have been substantially damaged, so you can't stay inside. It's too dangerous. So it's wintertime in Turkey. Yesterday it was 5 below. So we're going to be sleeping in a tent, eating MREs. This is not going to be a good time. I've got 11 sort of dinners, and I've only got 2 breakfasts. I get hyper-focused. If I get there and I forgot to pack it, you're not running to the store. You need to make sure that you've got everything you need. We have to be really careful not to cross the border into Syria. When I put a team together, we need to do a Zoom call prior to the mission so we're all sort of on the same page. My goal is to find where we can do the greatest amount of good for the most people in the time that we have. We need to find a safe place to be. What if somebody forgot their sleeping bag? We don't speak the language, so I need to find some interpreters. So these are the things that run through my mind as I'm getting ready to go to the airport. There's just a whole lot going on.
By February 9th, just 3 days after the earthquake, Teresa had landed in Turkey and connected with her team. They soon headed to Hatay province, to the town of Samandag.
This is beyond destruction. This is apocalyptic.
They got right to work.
I'm here on the streets of Samandag. We're doing mobile clinics, and all the people are living here in these tents now because the buildings have either fallen down or about to fall down. There is no in between. Everything is damaged beyond repair. So we go street to street to street, and we stop at these little tent cities. Here's Katie, another one of our translators, who's explaining to the crowd how we do things.
Currently we've got 2 lines going. People that have got either chronic or acute problems that want to be dealt with.
We're seeing earthquake injuries, lacerations. Did something fall on him in the earthquake? Yesterday we saw a child who had been trapped in the rubble from the knee down for well over 12 hours. We're seeing coughs, colds, flus from living together. Whatever it is they need us to look at, we will. But this is what we do every day. Then we go back, sleep in our car, get up the next morning and do it again.
They treated hundreds of people during their mission, and their interpreter, KT, became an essential part of the team.
KT is the one who brought us to this neighborhood and showed us where the need was.
Every sick people we went, they told me, say them thank you. It's really good for us because we can't go any doctor, we can't see any doctor, we can't go any hospital.
And though KT's family had taken refuge in a greenhouse,
So 15 people live in here. This is where they're going to live for the foreseeable future.
they adopted Teresa's group as their own.
This is my new Turkish mama. And these people have taken us in, and they've allowed us to stay on their property, and they've given us tea and coffee. Tell her that we are so grateful for her.
Another reminder that even in desperate times,
You're welcome.
humanity can shine through.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's okay.
Now we're going to watch the video from the San Francisco High School.
We just want to show the Westboro Church that in spite of their intolerance, we can come together to show love and acceptance, and that the Lowell community is one of acceptance and toleration.
Our friend Alex, he made a Facebook group and just invited everyone and was like, this needs to just happen.
And we talked about ideas, and then everything really went in motion come Tuesday when we had a talk with the administration, the Wellness Center, and then we just started getting things in action.
I met with students, different student groups, and our main message was to turn something hateful or something negative into a positive.
They gave out yarmulkes today on the catwalk, and everybody made posters just to show support for our diverse community.
What's going on here is at my back is so much love and so much support and so much amazing student community from Lowell that it brought tears to my eyes, really. And I can't even feel the hate because there's so much love going on behind me.
We are turning the negativity of the Westboro Baptist Church into something positive. We had a dance party, we had singers from our school perform, and just an overall bonding.
We weren't sure if they were going to even show up, and we decided that in spite of everything, we need to have this rally for ourselves. And we had no clue what was going to happen, and something amazing happened.
We're getting so much support both from our student body and people that aren't even part of our school. This is great.
I think all of us in our lives have somebody that is Jewish or gay, and that's why I came all the way over here to stand by Lowell's side.
To all stand up against one thing together makes you feel like a big community, and it feels really good.
I never even saw the protesters, and I think very few of the students ever saw them because it really wasn't about them. It was really about someone challenging us to rise to the occasion. It gives me a lot of hope and inspiration about where this world's going, that this generation can kind of combat hatred and different forms of violence with such positivity.
Okay. So after watching these two clips, you could take a moment as a class to talk about, or you could just think about, what do these clips have in common, and what was the impact of the choices that were made? SEL this school year has focused on empathy, a sense of belonging, relationships, and responsibility. We did a definition of responsibility in our last lesson, and now today we're going to break down the word responsibility so we can understand it a little bit better. So the first thing I want everybody to do is think about the two words response and ability. Think about some definitions, synonyms, or examples of each. Teachers, you could pause the video right now to have a discussion with the class. Some examples of response could be answer, reply, react or reaction, a comeback, retaliation, or feedback. Ability might mean able, your capacity, your skill, potential, talent, or aptitude. When we put them together, we get the word responsibility. And here are some other definitions. The state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or having control over someone. The state or fact of being accountable or to blame for something. And the opportunity or ability to act independently and make decisions without authorization. So in our last lesson, when we did the definition of responsibility, I kind of came up with my own definition that was like, I am accountable for my words and my actions. So there was kind of all of those kind of summed together. And the next question we're going to ask is, do you only have a responsibility to yourself, or do you also have a responsibility to others? Again, in our last lesson, we focused a lot on the responsibility to ourselves. We talked about self-care, we talked about our actions and our words, and how we are responsible for how we respond and how we act and how we take care of ourselves. But now the question becomes, do you only have a responsibility to yourself? So the next thing I want you to think about or discuss as a class are some examples of different types of responsibility. Social, collective, global, legal, moral, and mutual. Go over some of those different types of responsibilities and come up with some ideas of what those mean to you. Being socially responsible means that people and organizations have an obligation to act for the benefit of society at large, so social, cultural, economic, and environmental issues. Think about how the people in the videos we watched today were being socially responsible. You could talk about that as a class as well. In our next lesson on March 22nd, we're going to wrap up this whole lesson on responsibility and talk a little bit more about the ripple effect. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys on video in 2 weeks, and take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.